What's up, guys? Welcome to this R&B tutorial I'm doing with Ruben today.
What's up, guys?
So in this tutorial we're making a R&B type beat.
In the style of Brent Faiyaz's new album, Wasteland.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So for this loop I kind of try to make an R&B vintage kind of sample. I started off with writing some chords. So to get that like smooth R&B feel, I use some basic major and minor 7 chords, and I changed up some notes on some of them. Like here you have like some chromatics, and I changed up the top notes a little bit, and I play with the bass line, but mainly basic 7 chords. Then I exported that and did a volume automation for it to give it some more movement. To add on that, I added a more higher frequency, plucky kind of sound in Omnisphere. And I really like how these two notes sound together. Then I added a bass line from this Surge XT plugin, pretty cool plugin. Shout out to Dax, he showed me that one. Yeah, that's what the bass sounds like. So I just followed the bass notes and I added some rhythm with these like stabs in there, and then I just did some bass runs just with some notes out of the skill, basically add some nice variation to it. Then I added this One Shot by Barrio. Put some EQ in there, filter, distortion, and the crystallizer is giving like a nice touch to it to make it more ambient, and Valhalla Supermassive also make it more ambient and more delay. Then I wanted to add some more real elements to it, so I put a drum loop and a guitar over it. I'll play what that sounds like right now. I forgot to show some FX I did on the Omnisphere higher string kind of sound. I just did some delay reverb. On the bass I put a decapitator on it to give it some more punch and some more distortion. This one I already showed. The drum loop I just made more vintage sounding with isotope vinyl, delay, stereo shaper, do out some frequencies, make it sound worse, I guess. And then on the main pad sound, I did a filter freak on there to add some more variation to it. Oh yeah, I pitched a sample down 2 semitones, and this is what it sounds like.
Yo, just saw how Rick made this R&B loop. Now I'm gonna make the beat to it. Okay, so at first I think I started with this kick pattern. And then after the kick I added a snap to it. And And this snap has some reverb on it. And then I layered it with another clap. It sounds like. And if you combine those two together, it sounds like this. So after those snaps, I got these basic hi-hats. They sound like this. It's a 4-bar pattern and it just repeats into the next. Now that we got all the basic drums out of the way, I added some perks and crashes. Okay, so then last but not least, I added this bass from Analog Labs. And the bass I used was the jazz bass. That's everything I used for this, so let's hear how it sounds together. Okay, so that's the pretty fire in my opinion. So now let's move on to the verse. For the verse, I changed some things. For example, I used a different kick. And this 5-bar pattern also just repeats into the next part. For the verse, I also added a different snare. Okay, so the drums in the verse with this kick and snare sound like this. Now that we got all the sounds, it's time to talk about the arrangement of this beat. Okay, so let's start with the beginning. For the beginning part, I used a couple sounds from the loops, the bass I added, and in the loop there were these vintage drums. So I used these and then I automated the volume so that it became louder over time. And right before the first hook starts, I cut all the other sounds, so it's just the vintage drums and that leads into the hook. To transition from the hook to the verse, I also use these vintage drums. And for this last part, this little bridge part, I EQ'd all the highs, then I automated this EQ. This would like kind of gives a nice effect for the variation, and then it just goes into hook again. And this hook then repeats, and that's kind of the end of the beat. That's how HeyRick made this R&B Brent Faiyaz type beat.